Do I say hi?
Yeah. No,
Hello.
I'm gonna start it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready? Is everyone ready? All right. Okay. Welcome to the podcast idea episode. Wait, David,
Episode 8,
is
I
it?
believe.
Okay, episode 8.
I think.
And
Yeah.
today we're here with Luana.
Hello.
Yeah, I did start it. Thanks, David.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Luana is just a friend of mine. We're just gonna discuss some things. David is behind the camera
Yep.
today.
I'm the cameraman today.
Yeah, but he's still gonna be talking.
Yep. Still here.
Cool?
Cool.
All right.
I'm ready.
You're ready.
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
ready.
Okay, Luana, just tell us a little bit about who you are. Well, what do you do?
Right now I work in a hotel called Radisson Blue. I work in the services, so I work in breakfast, lunch, bar, room service, all the service areas. Um, I've been working there for a year now. After I graduated high school, I started there, and it's been it's been good so far. No
Okay.
ups and downs.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a couple of things that I put here to talk about.
Yeah.
And, well, you mentioned already that you just finished high school, well, a year ago, right?
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
like a
But
year and a half.
Yeah, but you all went to the same school as
Hmm.
I'm going now, which is also interesting. So I wanted to talk a little bit about life after high school.
Right.
How is it like living alone or quote alone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well,
So where do you live now? Describe.
right now I live in Tuve. I live with my best friend and his dad and his dad's girlfriend. And I am about to move to this house.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is very exciting. But okay, about after high school.
Yeah.
Right.
So okay, let's just start it. Um, so like, how was the switch? Because you're not going to university, at least not yet.
Mm-mm.
So like, from high school directly out, how was it? Is it different? Was it the
It's
same?
definitely very different.
Is it boring? Is
No.
it no? Okay.
I mean, now I really want to start studying
All right.
as soon as I can. But it was really good this year that I took off from studying. I think it was very important for me to mature enough and like actually decide what I want to go study and when
Okay.
and where. Because I think that if I had gone right after high school, I probably wouldn't have made the decision that I would actually have wanted. Um, so I think it was a very nice thing that I decided to take a gap year or years that it might take.
Okay.
Um, I mean, when you just finish high school and you start, like your free life, it's amazing. I can't lie, it's very nice. It's very weird in the beginning though, because you have to like readjust to your routine, because you're used to having such a routine for so many years of your life. From Monday to Friday, you go to school, and then you go home, and so when you finish high school, it's very like, what do I do now? Especially because when I started working extra, so I would work like maybe 2-3 times a week.
So it's more or less like what I do. It's part time.
Yeah, exactly. I started like that. Actually, my first job after high school was a summer job in this Mexican container called Wakal. And there I would work maybe like 4 times a week, but it was 2-3 hour shifts. So it was very easy, but it was very nice because I got to enjoy a lot my summer. And then right after summer, I started working at the hotel and at this Brazilian restaurant, which you also worked in.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Braza, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But it was very confusing how to adjust my routine. I didn't really have a routine for a long time because it's very hard adjusting. It just felt like I was on vacation forever and just sometimes working, because it was very like few times a week and very short periods. I would work from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then I was done. So I had nothing to do during the day. So it was hard actually adjusting to that, but you just have to like have focus, like just don't get lost on yourself, I guess, because it's easy to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you took some time off to decide what you actually wanted to do.
Yeah.
So what's that?
Now, what I want to do?
Yeah, like
I've
after you
decided.
stopped working.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I've decided to. I want to study marketing. I'm not sure where yet. I would love to study here in Sweden, in this university in Jönköping. So it's international marketing.
Why is that?
Why I want to
Yeah.
go study there?
No, what? Why marketing?
I just really like the area of like communication. I have thought about studying journalism. I've thought about studying just like media communication.
Okay.
But marketing interests me a lot. My dad works a lot with marketing too,
Sure.
so he tells me about it, and I think it's super interesting to like how you can persuade someone to buy something without with like it's an indirect way. It's like not
Yeah,
your
I
like
get that. Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's super interesting. Also the psychology behind it. So I would actually love to maybe have like a 6 months psychology course that I can take it into my studies in marketing, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, we actually speak a little bit about marketing here, like together with business and entrepreneuring, whatever. But we, well, personally, I actually really like it as well. And now I'm actually still not sure if I'm going for marketing or business.
Yeah.
But I guess business is more broad, so you can do both.
Yeah, right. I thought about studying business too. But when I looked at the program, I actually went to, I applied for a university in Spain called Iziki. It's a very good business school here in Europe. And I got in actually, so I went to visit. And then I applied for marketing and I applied for business and I got into both. And then I looked at marketing, I was like in love with it. I was in love with the program, I just wanted to start right away. And then I looked at the business and it was a bit like, I was a bit like, I don't know if I want to study all of this that is in there.
Okay.
I kind of just directed myself into the marketing. I unfortunately couldn't really go because it's too expensive. So maybe in the future.
Yeah. So if I take it back just a little bit, if you could just try to think back to like what actually made you choose marketing
Yeah.
over business or over anything else.
Yeah.
And is there anything from like your childhood or anything like that? Like you mentioned communication.
Yeah.
Why is that important for you?
I would say because I'm a very social person.
Okay.
I get along with people super easily. I don't have problems with like making friends. I've never had that, and I'm really good into like talking to people, and talking people into stuff. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. I feel like, for example, if I like this product, I'm just gonna go to my friends. I'm gonna tell them like, "Oh my god, I love it," and like they end up, buying it too. And I people to call me already like I'm a marketing person already because I just market stuff that I like, and I guess it's that.
Okay.
I would say.
But for someone like, for example, Nick, what would be some key things you would tell him before, for example, applying to a program like this?
Yeah, like
What are
on
like
school, right?
some things that you have to like enjoy to be able to
I don't know because
enjoy this
I
program?
haven't applied either, so I'm not sure. I could maybe tell you this when I've started studying, but I don't know because I don't know. I don't think we're ever really sure what we want. Not 100% at
enough.
least. I don't know. Maybe next year when I decide to apply, I'm gonna be like, no, actually, I don't want this. I want something else. Because I don't know, life is just so up and down. You never know what you're actually gonna decide. But I don't know. I feel from you that you're a very much business person. Even though I do see that you like marketing. I don't know. You like to create a lot of stuff too. Like you are very creative.
Yeah, I feel like marketing is a part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
and
a
you can
huge
also,
part of it.
Yeah, but I think that would be very interesting for you is getting a bachelor degree in business, and maybe getting like a master in marketing.
But thinking of university in general, do you think it's really necessary, or is it just for certain professions, or it's based on you if you really want to continue studying, or you really need it?
It's based on you. Everything's based on yourself. Like there's some people that I think that just don't need to go to university because I don't know. Like it depends on what future you want to have.
Sure.
Like I don't know. Maybe especially here in Sweden, there's so many professions that you can have without a degree. So many. Like the former president of Volvo didn't have a degree.
Yeah,
I don't know if you knew that, but
I
it's
don't
very
know.
yeah.
No, I
He
didn't know
didn't have
that.
a degree, only high school.
Yeah, I
So
think
I
our prime
mean,
minister as well, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that one
exactly.
I knew.
Yeah. So I don't know. It really just depends on how you want your life to enroll, I would say. Um, I, for myself, definitely am 100% going to university
Sure.
because I want to. I want to learn more things. I want to get knowledge, and I think I have so much more space in my head to get information. But I mean, if you're a person that like never really enjoyed studying, and I don't know, you like to work with like, for example, service. I mean, you can work service your whole life if you want.
Yeah, no,
It
but
gets boring, but I mean, if you really want to.
Yeah, what I think is, I mean, knowledge is key, but there are a lot of like, for example, university dropouts, like I think Elon Musk,
Yeah.
and a
yeah,
bunch of
sure.
famous people, and I think it really is about like where you get the knowledge from.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
university is a way of getting it, or you could learn it on your own.
Of
But
course.
Yeah,
that's
Of
exactly.
course.
Oh, that
That's
was
why
gonna be my next
it's
question.
so that's why it's so individual, this
yeah, I
question.
mean,
It's
it
like
doesn't necessarily mean that if you go to university you're smart. And
no,
if you don't, you're dumb.
absolutely not. Absolutely
Or
not.
that if you go to university, you're gonna learn, or if you don't, you're also gonna learn.
Yeah, or
vice
that if you
versa.
go to university, you're gonna be successful, and if you don't, you're not.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But
No.
what I mean is like, you mentioned that you wanted to learn more things,
Right.
but don't you think that from experience you could do the same or even
Both.
better?
Both. That's why I
Both.
decided to take a gap year from the beginning, and I know I'm
Sure.
gonna
Yeah.
take more because I wanted to have the real life experience, before I actually get into. Because I know if I go to university, after university, I'm gonna start working with the thing that I studied
Yeah.
for. And I think it's so important that once in your life you work with service, it teaches you so much
Yeah.
about people, about like yourself, about everything. That's how you start to see how the actual world is. I think before you work service, you don't really know how people are. Like nowadays, I know exactly what kind of guests come in. Like just when they come in, I know how they're gonna be because I have dealt with so many different people already. And it's super interesting, and it makes you appreciate way more when you like go to a restaurant, or when you're staying in a hotel. Like for example, for me, whenever I do like go to restaurants or stay in hotel, I know like what is going on behind it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you appreciate it much more, and you like take that person's perspective into your hands also. And I think that's super interesting, and I think everyone should do it for at least once in their life. Yes, absolutely. Please
If
do.
you could summarize like actually like the things that to do with marketing,
Right.
like influencing people,
Mm-hmm.
that you actually learned from those jobs, what would you say were the key things? Like if you had to say one, two, or three,
What do you mean? Sorry.
like the things that you learned
Yeah.
from
From
going
like the
from
job that I am right
service,
now. Would you
any
say?
job you've had
Mm-hmm.
that would actually help you in marketing, for example,
I mean, understanding people.
understanding people.
Yeah,
Okay.
like with marketing, I mean, I haven't studied, so I'm not, I'm a
No,
professional or
of
anything.
course,
But what I think is that you have to understand how people will be convinced that your product that you're selling is good, right? And for that, you need to understand people, understand different types of people. There's so many different types of people, um, and you have to like know which target market you're aiming for, and it's much easier if you know how to deal with different types of people. So I would say from service, I have learned so much to deal with rude people, to deal with like people that question everything, or that they want everything except what it is on the buffet, for example, I'd say. So you also build a lot of patience. You want to kill some people some days, but it's okay. You get through it. Um, yeah, so I would say understanding people is a big thing in service, and if you end up working in marketing, I think that it counts a lot because you know who you're dealing with, and you know what they're going to be looking for in your marketing of the product or whatever.
Besides things like working in service and talking to people and just overall general experience, have you done anything to do with like directly to do with marketing like that? You mentioned that you do it for your friends for fun, but anything that
Not
could actually put you in that context?
necessarily. Or I mean, when I was in IB, I did. I went to design technology, and I created a product for my IA. I created this handbag that turns into a backpack.
Okay.
So I had to go through all the process of designing it and all that, and the marketing. Um, and I actually had some people interested in it in Brazil. I didn't really go through with it because I didn't have time, and I don't know. I wasn't very motivated, I guess. But I mean, that's when I learned how to like at least market a product. But I think that's the only experience I have, to be honest. I haven't had much more experience, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
with marketing directly. No.
Yeah, but would you see yourself doing something like that or along those lines forever? Or because like not
Forever?
forever, but I mean like for a long time.
Yes.
Because I feel like it, for me at least, it's very important to know that the thing I'm doing, I actually enjoyed the journey, but
Yeah.
not just the destination. So like,
Yes.
do you like just the fact that you convince someone, or the actual
No.
convincing?
No, I love the process.
Okay.
Like when I was doing my IA for design technology,
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved designing the product. I loved thinking how people would like the product. I did surveys to see what people preferred and how they would like the handbag to look inside and all that. And I thought it was super interesting. I loved
Mhm.
it. Actually, that was kind of when I decided that I want to study marketing.
Okay.
Now I remembered.
And then, taking from that example, why not design instead?
Because I'm not so into the designing part. I was into it like to an extent, like um, in my project it wasn't something super professional, but I'm not the greatest at drawing, I would say.
Okay.
So I had to get some help from friends. My best friend, he's a great drawer, so he helped me like actually draw the bag. Of course, I had the sketches in my head because the idea was coming from my head, so I would sketch it. But to make it actually look nice, it was him. Um, so I don't know. I liked more the part because the beginning of the IA is just the design and the thinking process and all that. I loved the thinking process. The design was a little bit of a pain in the ass, like um, with all the like I had to like learn how to use SketchUp and do the 3D models and all that, and I wasn't so into that.
Okay.
So I was
Yeah.
like more into the final part, which was like actually seeing the bag and like I don't know.
So the destination, not the journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I guess I
I
get it.
just I would prefer someone doing the design and giving it to me and
And you marketing it.
right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No. Okay. Makes sense.
But I
Makes
would
sense.
also like to like maybe have a partner, like with the
Okay.
design.
Maybe have a say in the design.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
I
I
feel
don't
like
think I would like to market something that I had no say in
exactly. You need the product,
it.
right?
Yes.
Because if you already have the product, you're over halfway there.
Exactly.
At least in my opinion. But going back to a little bit on university, of course, in Sweden, university is free, right? Even in English, right?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. But that's the reason I'm waiting to go to university
Yeah. Okay.
because I have a working visa right now
Mhm.
because I'm working. And if I go study, I will have to get a study visa, and then I will have to pay for university. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but you want the
But I don't want to
permanent.
pay, so I just have to wait for my permanent visa,
Mhm.
which should come out until next year. Should.
Okay. And
Emphasis on the should.
uh-huh. And do you think it's uh, if someone is deciding to go to university, right? And they get something like, let's say, medicine that you actually have to go to
Right?
university. Do you think it's worth it to actually pay, and even in some cases be in debt to pay
Yeah, if
afterwards,
it's your
right?
dream, yeah.
If it's your dream, but what if you're not sure in the end?
In the end, but
Yeah.
you will never know if you don't try, right? If I feel
Right,
like if it's your
but you
dream,
still lost a lot of money if you tried. Let's just
yeah.
say that. Just an example.
Right. But I don't think it's any time lost, Like, for example, if you really decide to go study medicine, it's because you really wanted to, because
Hmm.
medicine is really hard to get in. So
Yeah.
you have to dedicate your whole life basically
But
for it.
if we change the example to marketing or
Okay.
even business,
Yeah.
right? That let's say someone wants to start their own business and they think they have to go to business school, but the only way they go, at least in their country, is being in debt. Do you think that's worth it or not?
Yes, I
Yes,
think so.
you think
It's
so?
kind of a hard question to
Yeah, I
answer.
know, I know, I know.
But I feel like if you are ready to dedicate, like taking a loan for your studies, it's because like you might not be 100% sure, but you're probably 80% sure, and that's a good percentage there, to be sure about your future.
Okay.
I think so. At least I don't know. I think that's what I would imagine,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's not nice to start off your adult life with debt, with like taking
Yeah,
loans.
sure.
But I mean, if it's gonna help you in the future, why not?
But before I say my opinion, I want to ask David as well because I don't think I've asked you this question, David.
No,
There
I
in the
mean,
background. What do you think? Hey,
um,
you heard it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I don't know. It's a hard question to answer because
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not there yet. But I think I would do it. I think it's worth it in the long run, at least. But I don't know for sure because I'm
But I don't.
not there yet.
But I don't think you ever know for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Or I mean, until the end.
Yeah, exactly. Or not even then, maybe. I don't think we're
Okay,
ever
true,
sure for
true.
anything in life.
Yeah, yeah, that I agree with.
Yeah.
But I actually differ a little bit in opinion.
Mm.
I feel like if it really depends on where, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're going for, I don't know, medicine or some other career that you really need it and it's the only way and you're sure that you're not going to be in debt for too long,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Mm.
But if you're going for business, marketing, whatever it is, something along those lines, and you, and it's very uncertain because we talk a lot about building your own business and stuff, and in that kind of uh, type of career, it's very uncertain. At
Yeah.
one
Right.
point, you might be very, very successful. The next day, maybe not so much.
Yes.
Or you might do something wrong, or whatever happens.
It's risky. Yeah.
If you're in debt, that's a lot worse, right? So, from the top of my head, I
But
don't know if I can think of many other professions that you have the very similar issue. Maybe similar, but not the same.
I would
Cause
say that, for example, sorry to interrupt you,
yeah, no,
but
of course,
I
go
would
ahead.
say that you said in business or marketing, you can, be at the top of your career, but you can also be the
Yeah,
lowest.
yeah.
But if you have a degree, it's very hard. Like, at least where we live now, in Brazil, it's a different story, but at least where we live now, I think it's very hard for you to be unemployed. Like,
No, but I don't mean unemployed. I mean if you're going for, because this is a very specific example, but if you have a your own business
yeah,
and that business fails and you put all the money you had on that
yeah,
and you have debt, then it's very bad.
yeah.
That's what I mean.
But I mean, you can't really live your life just imagining the worst possibilities, right? Or
No,
else,
no,
otherwise, we wouldn't ever do anything.
no. But what I mean is, if you balance out, should I go to college and uh, maybe quote waste my time? No, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would. It depends. Or should I just start it right away? Or even an alternative is to start first, right? Way before to try it, and then if you actually get somewhere, you can still go to college and do it because of that. I don't know. I don't have an answer for it. I have my opinion,
Yeah, of
but
course.
it's hard to say.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
hard to say. I don't.
I
I
think
don't
it's
think
very
you should
individual. I think it's
ever.
very
Yeah,
individual.
I personally, I would never like to be in debt,
No.
especially like that.
No, me neither.
No.
I wouldn't want, and that's why I decided not to go study in Spain,
Yeah.
because I
Okay.
didn't want to take a loan.
No.
You know, um, I don't know. I just couldn't really picture myself having this loan in my head. You know, it depends. That's why it depends so much. If a person is like good with handling money and like really responsible, and I don't know, not very anxious about that, you know,
Okay.
I think it can work out very well.
Mm.
But for example, for my person, I wouldn't like it because I would be very anxious about it, you know?
Mm.
Like I would think like, yeah,
Am I
well,
doing the right
you know,
thing?
yeah,
Whatever.
like
Yeah.
when I started working, I'll be like, okay, well, all my money is going to my past, you know? It's like I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't want that because I have the opportunity to study for free here, you know.
Mm.
But I mean, there's some people that don't. There's some people that live in countries that the only way for you to get good education is paying. In Brazil,
Yeah.
for
Okay.
example.
If I pose another question, but in the same subject,
Yeah.
do you think that people actually go and get a loan, go into debt because of other people, or just because they want it? Do you think they value too much what other people think,
Yes, for sure.
and why?
Social pressure.
Social pressure,
Yeah.
but in what way? What do you mean by social pressure?
Um, how do I explain? This is hard to explain.
Yeah, I know. Hard questions, right?
No,
Maybe
I
David
like
can.
it. I like it. I like it.
Okay, David, you can chime in as well if you want.
Yeah, of course. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
Right. I would say that we still live in a society that, you know, is you're very judged if you don't have a degree. I would say if you're
Okay.
an adult. I mean, where we live right now, not that much, but still, like, you know, people still think, oh yeah, you have to go to university after, you know, and all that. But we're focusing on a loan, right? Taking a loan.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. I mean, like, not just going to university, but
The
going
loan
and like
part.
being in debt. At least paying a lot of money to go.
Yeah. Okay. I would say that I don't think it's that much of the situation in Sweden because like
No.
90% of the universities are for free, you know? Or is it 100? I'm not sure. Is there paid
I think
universities
there are
here?
some private, maybe.
Yeah.
Like same with high school, you know.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
But
yeah,
not much, right?
No,
most of
but
them
most
are
of them-
are
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
paid. Yeah.
So I don't think we have that situation here. But I would say in other countries where you can choose to go public or you can just choose to go private, it depends on the circles of people you hang around with. I would say, like, you know, because in some countries, public education, even if there's a private one, is very good too. But depending on what kind of social group you are in, people would think that the private is, you know, the best option just because it's private and it's paid.
Okay.
So I think someone can be very easily convinced, also depending on their what kind of person they are, if they're
Yeah.
easily to be
Okay.
convinced to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Getting
another
to-
thing that I think university it looks really good on paper,
Yeah.
but then up in practice, you know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
that's
I
something
I
different.
do
So,
agree.
for example,
yeah.
starting in business, it really doesn't matter if you have a degree, right?
No.
But
matter if
I
you're
mean, yeah, it depends
smart.
if you have the exactly the knowledge.
Yeah.
True. But you can
so-
always get that knowledge from other places.
Yeah.
exactly
That
exactly.
are
But I think
really-
a
if
lot
you're-
cheaper, if not
yeah,
free.
But if you're
Yeah.
looking for like a job, for example, then it's the paper you hand in,
Exactly.
right? So it looks way better on
But
paper.
the problem
but
is like
also
there's
depends where you're gonna work.
Yeah, but also the problem is like there's so many people that, you know, have so much money, so they go there and they spend, I don't know, millions in a university. It looks good on paper, and then the person hires them. They don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
They're shit. Like they literally just have the degree, but
Yeah, it
they have
doesn't
no
mean
idea
much.
what they're doing with their lives.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that, like, with business especially, I think that like you have a business. I think it's like, you know, it's great, and you haven't even finished high school. Like, imagine what you're gonna build when you.
But
you know,
it doesn't mean much. Like,
But
this
that's-
is another. This is another thing. Like, I'm testing waters, right? I'm
Yeah.
testing whatever I can,
Yeah.
whatever seems good to me.
Mhm.
This is just a test, right? Even though I really like it right now, I might not enjoy it, every aspect of it.
No,
I
of
think I've
course.
discussed this before. And this is the same with other things, like anything that you want to do. Maybe marketing for you. You try it, but some things from it you don't really like. And if
Yeah,
it's
but that's
enough,
everything in
no,
life,
of
right?
course, of course. But the difference is that enough to make you quit, right? I heard, I don't know if I said this before. I can't keep track, but
That's fine.
yeah, no, but I
I'm
heard
sure they
that
don't mind.
once. It was some sort of quote, but that you shouldn't really um, like the best parts
Hmm.
of something that you do. You should bear the worst parts.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's
it's about the balance, you know.
yeah, of
It has
course,
to
but
balance out the bad things and the good things, and if the good things win over the bad things, you can keep going. If
yeah,
not, you can't.
okay, yeah, yeah, but yeah, I think that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
The that's pretty much the point I just wanted to get across.
Hmm.
Also, the point of university and caring too much about what other people think
Hmm.
is for many people,
Hmm.
at least like I had a little bit of that mentality before, like, oh yeah, maybe people will just think that I'm not that smart or I didn't have money to go or whatever it
Yeah.
is. I feel like it is social pressure, but a lot of people care too much sometimes.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
sure, and
even here.
yeah, for sure. But I think that's a lot of how they were maybe raised, you know, like how their parents are or
Yeah.
whatever, or maybe they didn't feel as smart as a kid, so they want to like recompensate for that.
Mm.
You know, there's so many different reasons why someone would choose university, like medicine.
Yeah.
You know, just because.
Just
Like
because, yeah.
so many people I met during my high school years say like, yeah, I want to study medicine, and I would ask them like, okay, but why? Like,
Yeah.
why do you want it? Oh, you know, you get so much money from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
It's the
after,
same with
right
law, right?
after university, you start getting money, and you know, like it's a good profession, and my parents will be proud. It's like, okay, and what is your reason? You know, like
Yeah.
money. I'm sorry, like you can't study medicine just for money. Medicine is
You
this
can't do
thing that you
anything. You
dedicate your
can't
no
do
anything,
anything for
but you know,
just the money.
especially medicine because I'm using this example because I had so many friends and people that I've met that would say that, I just never got it. It's like medicine is something that you dedicate your whole life to. Like it takes years and years and years for you to become something. You know. So yeah, a lot of I would say like. Wait, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I
No,
just got talking here and I forgot what was I answering.
no, but
What was I
I think
answering?
it's good. I think we had
Yeah.
a good discussion about
Okay.
university and stuff.
Okay, good.
Um, the last point I want to get to, I
Yes.
wrote this down the middle of the week. I don't even remember when, but it's a
Right.
question,
Right.
right? And at least this really applies to me. But
Mhm.
would you rather find one thing and do that, or
Mhm.
do as many things as possible? And at the same time, what if the one thing you like to do is to do as many things as possible? I know. It's a. I kind of made that
You are
overview.
confusing
Yeah,
me.
I know it's confusing. It is confusing.
Okay.
It's also confusing in my head, but
Yes. My head is going all
yeah.
the ways here.
Okay.
Yeah. So, wait, what was the first question?
Would you rather do one thing or
Mhm.
choose one thing or whatever,
For
decide
your
on
whole
one
life, you
thing
mean?
and do that? Right?
Okay.
Doesn't have to be
But
the
in
whole
what
life,
in
but like
what
for
context? In
a
what context? University, like wise or
career.
career? Okay,
Let's
career.
let's just say career.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I say I want to do. I don't know. We were talking about medicine before.
Mhm.
Medicine,
Mhm.
and I do that.
Mhm.
Or should I do as many things as I can and choose one? Or should I choose to do as many things as I can?
You should
We're not gonna
definitely.
arrive to an answer. That's just like my thesis. We're not gonna, but I think
But let's
it's an
discuss it.
interesting conversation.
I think so too.
Wait,
David.
isn't to choose some or to choose to try everything or as many things as possible and just doing as many things as possible at the same thing.
Yeah.
Uh, not no. Well, the difference I'm trying to make is like if you do as many things as possible. Let me put this into context a little
Okay,
bit,
go.
okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
My thought process behind that was that uh, from the looks of it, at least for me, what I really want to do is as many things as possible. So the one thing I want to do is as many things as possible.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? For example, uh, a great example of that is business, more specifically entrepreneurship. That you're not tied to any business, right?
No. Okay.
So you the many things that you try are within business, so it's within a context, but it's many things. So next week I could open a coffee shop that sells only cold brew,
Okay.
right?
So you.
And then the other time I open a financial firm, whatever.
Okay.
Well, I would definitely choose that.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, no, but
So
I
you
mean,
mean like you're choosing a career that you can choose
as
many
many
different
things as possible,
Yes.
right? Because if you do medicine, then it's
You can also,
just
though.
medicine. But at the same time, you could
So
say, "Oh
many
yeah, I
different
do so
branches,
many
though.
different things
Yeah.
in medicine."
But like, it's a lot of people say, try as many things as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
career-wise, it might be a little bit difficult. Okay, I want to be a policeman this week, and then I want to be
Exactly.
a fireman.
No,
or like
but I don't mean
medicine,
completely
Exactly.
different,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
I mean realistically.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
of course. But I still think that it's, or at least you get comfortable within a career. Like, okay, marketing, you want to do this, or business, and then okay, now I want to work on this project, now another one, and just try as many things as possible. I would definitely choose that
Yeah.
personally.
Same.
Yeah, because I feel like it's very much on the person, right? It depends on who you are. Because
Yeah, for sure.
I remember when I was starting this podcast, I had people say like, "Oh yeah, you already have another whatever the Ace of Hearts idea. Finish a business first, and then go for the second one, or you started." Something in the clothing industry, you have to be in clothing forever, or whatever. You just
Okay,
have to
I
continue.
got your point now.
Right?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
got
point
it.
I'm trying to make. Like when you say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna try this new thing. It's completely different. Doesn't make any sense, but I want to do it."
Yes, that's.
I feel
what
like
choose.
that's what really makes me love this type of
Yes,
thing.
absolutely.
Is because you're so free to do that.
Yes.
And
Right?
this is also
Because-
example of it. For example, your store. You started out with phone cases and
Yeah.
playing cards. Now you're selling T-shirts.
Yeah,
so that's
it's
not the
it's
same
different.
thing.
Yeah. I mean,
but you're still
And,
even
within
and you
business.
kind of put all your business together. I mean, you're advertising your company right now,
yeah,
doing
sure,
the podcast,
sure.
So I think that is super interesting. I mean, like putting all your business together and creating
'Cause
this whole big thing.
Nowadays, the
Into
biggest
different things.
yeah, the biggest link that you can create
Yeah.
is personal branding.
Yeah.
Because then you make your face your business's face as well, right? So then when you think of this, you think of me,
All right.
or when you think of me, you think of this and that, right? So
Yeah,
you
for
make those
sure.
connections,
Yeah.
and you can connect that back into marketing, right?
Yeah.
You can market yourself and you can market other things, but at the same time, what I want to get into is that in marketing, if you only say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do marketing," then sure you can market a lot of different things, but you're always marketing, right? So it's not.
Right.
I feel like it's not. At least for me, it's not different enough.
But I think that if you study marketing, you have a broad vision of a lot of into business also. I
Look,
would
I'm not
say.
trying to shit on
No,
marketing.
no, no,
That's
no,
not
no.
what
I know,
I'm
I
trying
know.
to do.
Don't worry, dude.
No,
Don't
no, no.
worry. It's
No,
fine.
I know.
I'm cool. Anyway, you made me lose my point now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry
Wait,
about that.
I'm gonna get back. Yes, okay. So if you study marketing, I would say that you also have some knowledge on like design, on business, like all that. So like what I said, if you have like partners, if you have a business with partners in different areas of like let's say business, like you guys.
Yeah, no, you feel me.
Oh,
No, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Partners in business.
Yes, you can always like kind of change into that area, like if I have like if I'm working in a company and I'm doing the marketing for that company, right? But I get interested in the design part of that company. I'm in that company already, let's say.
Yeah.
I couldn't, if I have good connections and if they like what I'm proposing,
Uh-huh.
I can get into the design of that too. And then from the design, I can also go to the business part.
Yeah, I don't know if it stretches that far. Because
But
I feel like then you get to the discussion of business versus entrepreneuring, right? Because in
right?
entrepreneuring, you can do whatever. I mean, whatever in quotes,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
You can try whatever type of business. Because then you can say, oh yeah, now I'm gonna be this type of business owner or this type. But if you study only business and you're just an executive in a company, it's going to be really hard for you to go and do engineering afterwards or like go to a job where you need engineering, for example.
Yeah, but of course, but then that's different things because that's a complete different area,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
is. But you mentioned designing if you're a
I,
normal
I wouldn't
executive.
say that I would work in design, but I would have influence in there.
Sure.
Like
No,
I
yeah.
would have, like that's what my idea of my future is. Like I would create different things, like with people from different areas, but everyone influences each other in a way. Like
Okay,
everyone has
yeah.
their specific place that they're good at.
Mhm.
There's like professionally good at, but you can change its area. But it's a lot also about like creativity, if you're a creative person or not. You know, I have my
Yeah,
moments where
totally.
I'm creative, and the other moments that I'm not. I'm creative in some things, and the others I'm not.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think it's very also like individual. I'd say.
It's always individual.
Yeah,
It's always
always.
subjective.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't really believe in real objectivity. It's
No,
really hard to get there.
it is definitely
Even
takes a lot.
in science and
Yeah.
whatever. But that's another
Yeah.
that's another
Let's not
conversation.
get
But
into that.
we talked about that with Alex, right? A little bit.
Yeah,
Was
we did.
Alex Charlotte's brother?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know her, his sister.
Yeah.
Cool. But that's about it. Like that's about the point that I wanted to make with many things or one thing, because like if you go for one business or things like that, I don't really know other professions where you can really vary that much the fields you can go into than business, or I mean more
Yeah, no, it's
specifically
true. I think
entrepreneur.
business is the most broad
Yeah.
thing ever. That's why, I mean, I wouldn't say business is out of the picture for me
No.
because I feel like maybe next year,
Yeah.
whenever I get to go study, I will maybe be interested in
Yeah.
the
Uh,
program because I do think business is super, super, super interesting because
Mhm.
you can do so much with it, and marketing is more specific, of course. Uh, it is still a possibility for me. It's not like something impossible.
No, no, no. But also, what I mean is that the difference between entrepreneuring and business.
Yeah, I
Right?
would also like
Yeah.
to add to your previous point that, or at least
course.
potential ways of branching out. It's like it's not for sure that it's like, okay, let's say, oh, I'm gonna open like a coffee shop tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's like potential ways. It's like, oh, I have this business. I could do this. I could do that. But then let's say I choose
True.
to go this way.
Yeah.
We have a lot
Yeah.
of possibilities at least.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also heard once that someone talking about like the definition of being an entrepreneur, and it wasn't about building or it wasn't about being a business owner. It's more about having the urge of not being in the same specific section,
Yeah.
right, all
Yeah.
the time. So not being just able to conform to only having one type of business or one type of idea or one type of field.
Yeah, exactly. And
So it's
I
all
think there's
about that.
yeah, and I think there's two like different types of people. There's some people that like to be comfortable where they are. They like to be in their comfort zone. Like they don't want to like, for example, where I work. There's people that work there for 30 years in the same thing, like doing exactly the same thing for 30 years. And they're fine. They're like
I mean, it's their choice.
yeah, they
You-
think that like why do I would need to change? Like it's fine. I am going crazy after 1 year. So, you know, I'm the opposite of that.
Uh-huh.
I need change. I need to change constantly, you know, stuff. At least one thing in your life, like in my life, has to be, you know, changing. So I think that's why also I wanted to move here, and then I needed to like get a job, and I didn't want to go directly to university so that I could change stuff, you know, because I don't like to be in the same place for so long.
But yeah, you have to do as much work or do as many different things as your ambitions
Yeah.
tell you to do,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Or call for. So if I really want to like succeed that much, then I have to work on the in par with that
Yeah.
goal, right? But if you don't want as much, you don't have to. You just have to be really self-aware
Yes,
of that.
exactly.
You have to know.
Exactly. And there's also,
That
you know,
might
the
be a
type
problem
of
with some
people that they say that they want to. They say like, yeah, no, I want to change, but they don't do anything about it.
Or
It's
they
like
say, "Oh yeah,
they just sit on their ass. They're like, yeah, can you do something to change? It's like, no, you have to work for on yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Because then that's how it's gonna be a good change. If you get something handed to you, like, you know, it's you're not gonna appreciate it as much,
Of course, of course.
and it's even funner to like go through it, work for it, and then in the end you're like, oh shit, I did this, you know, like I got this by myself. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
very
definitely,
nice, very nice feeling.
definitely. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thank you for joining us.
thank you for having me. It was very
This was
nice.
fun.
Yes, very nice.
It's just some insight on university, some doing many things or one
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
David, anything else to add?
No, nothing.
Great.
All right. Yeah,
Thank
just checking
you.
if the mic was on. All right. Well,
Now in the end of the video, I'm like,
no,
oh, is it on?
it's usually check to make sure.
guys, you too. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
And this has been podcast idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you guys next week.
Great.
All right, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.